Okay, well, I was fairly young when I first had my first child. I was just turned 18 years old. So I was still pretty young in the game. Okay, now with me being a young parent, there were quite a bit of advantages and disadvantages. One of my biggest disadvantages, I will say, with being an 18-year-old mother was not having any support there as far as having someone to help me raise my child, babysitting issues, and basically not knowing what to do. As far as an advantage, there was good information out there and help to be able to go to, reaching out to other people. But I would say it was more at that age a disadvantage being a mother than it was an advantage. Okay, that's a good question. What is one of my biggest fears of being a parent? I think this will speak for not just single parents, but parents overall. For me, it's going to relate back to the adversity, the advantage, disadvantage of me being a young mother. But one of my biggest fears, I would say, is me not providing him the right amount of support mentally or emotionally for him to feel like he hasn't gotten far in his life because maybe some choices I have made or certain things I have influenced upon him. I just would like my biggest fear for him not to have a good, right, like steady, straight of mind to where he can stay focused and achieve his goals and don't want him to make none of the same mistakes I did. How do I overcome my biggest fear? I will say that I actually didn't. I think the more that you grow with you and your children, you just have more fears that grow on. One of the best ways to handle or help you get through your biggest fears, I will say for me, is just reaching out to God. Now, with that being said, being that I knew I was going to be with this young man by myself, one of my biggest adversities, or with him being and growing into an older man, was that I wouldn't know how to take care or handle a man because I'm not one for one, and then there's certain things that I won't be able to give him or provide for him and speak to him on his level because he's a man and I'm a woman, and then there's other things I felt that had been already missing by the time we got to this point as far as him being a teenager. Okay, now did I expect to be a single parent? It's a 50-50. I expected it in some ways because I was young as well as his father. But I would lean more towards knowing I was going to be just with me and my son, because he also had another child, his father, and then just certain things that I noticed as far as what I already had been doing at a certain time frame with him by myself. Now, what are some things I may have done different? As a single parent, and based on my experience of being a young mother with the adversities, the fears, I would have taken advantage of some opportunities that came my way when they were available to me, as far as things I could have did different with school, with different jobs. I also would have put me and my son in a better position as being more involved with some spiritual outreach to help us to continue to grow spiritually, to strengthen whatever other problems or fears or worries we may have.